gracious and good, just an all-around good guy. The other reason is Lori told me that this is not a sell fest, and since I want to talk about the book, I don't want you all to think that I'm trying to sell it to you. So I'm giving it to you, so I can't sell it to you. If you want to read it and refer it to a friend, that would be awesome. So don't hesitate to tell your friends about it. So today we're going to talk about lying. And your name, sir?
John.
John.
Mark.
Good to meet you. All right. So we're going to talk about lying. And I actually made some notes today. I don't usually do that. I mentioned the book, so we're going to go on from there. Lying and human lie detection. Lying is something that we all do. We do it a lot, and we're very bad at it. Has anyone here taken any human deception training?
A little bit, long time ago.
Long time ago? Was it advanced training or just?
No, it was more like along the lines of just psychology, along the psychology path.
All right. Well, the average untrained person, which would be you all, when actively looking for lies, will catch about 54% of the lies you're told. Just a little better than a coin toss. The same person will, when not actively looking for lies, will miss about 80% of the lies you're told. When you're fully trained in deception analysis, the deception expert, the deception analyst, which would be me, will catch about 75 to 85% of the lies you're told, or we're told. Now, one of the interesting things about deception analysis, when you're fully trained, you would be surprised at how many people, friends and family, will lie to you right straight to your face. It's kind of disappointing, actually, when you see how many people you know will lie to you. Now, interestingly, I don't usually call out family and friends on their lies. If I called everyone out that lied to me, I would spend all my time calling people out who lied to me. What I do most of the time is I just let it go. I pay little attention to them and just let it go. Now, what also is interesting is that many of my friends and family think that I miss their lies. They'll test me, and then they think they get away with it. So I have a lot of friends who lie to me, thinking that I'm not catching their lies, and then that they dig themselves into a hole, and I am catching their lies all along. But anyway, why is it important to spot lies? How many people here have ever been lied to? How many people have been lied to where it was important that they were lied to? How many people would have been better off had they caught the lie in real time rather than finding out later?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. When I greeted, and your name again was?
John.
John. When I greeted John, was I glad to meet John?
I think so.
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, let's analyze. I kind of played a trick. Let's analyze what I did. Okay, so I asked your name, and then I said, glad to meet you. And I stuck out my hand.
You
Okay?
said in your hand first.
No, I didn't stick
Oh,
my
okay.
hand. Okay. I asked your name, and I said, glad to meet you. And that's my hand come out, or my hand come out just a little bit late. All right? That is a deception indicator. Okay? When I said, glad to meet you, and stuck out my hand, the gesture should come just slightly before or as the person is speaking. That's a gestural slip, because the hand didn't come out with my speech or before my speech.
Wow.
I slightly shook my head no as I said, glad to meet you, which also is a gestural slip. It's an emblematic slip as well. An emblem is something that is a gesture that doesn't need any explanation. And when I do this, you know what that means. But I just very slightly shook my head no. Then I said, glad to meet you, which I dropped the personal pronoun. I didn't say, I'm glad to meet you. I just said, glad to meet you, or good to meet you, whatever I said. But, so that's another deception indicator. And I didn't do the last one, which I was going to do, which if I'd have done this and say, glad to meet you. Stuck my hand out. And then did this afterwards. That's two more. Touch my nose. You have erectile tissue in your nose, which swells when we lie, causes it to itch. And I itched it with my middle finger, which basically is another emblematic gestural slip, telling him what I think of him. So if I had done all of those, that would be 5 deception indicators in one sentence. I lied. Wasn't at all glad to meet him. So this is how subtle a person lies, and how quickly you can build up deception indicators. Now, they don't all have to be earth-shattering lies to be important. Let's say you go to a restaurant, and the soup of the day is, let's say, vegetable. How many people here like vegetable soup? Nobody. So let's say the soup of the day is vegetable soup. Server comes up, you say, how's the vegetable soup? And he says, very good. And you say, really? Have you tried it? And he immediately says, yep. Just as quickly as you say, have you tried it? Yep. So you say, and you liked it? Sure did. Okay. Now, who is going to buy the vegetable soup? I hope not, because the guy lied to you 3 times in just a matter of seconds. Okay. So this is the importance of being able to check and be able to detect lies in real time. Now they're very subtle, you know. The guy just basically shook his head no, which is a deception indicator. The fast response, is it good? Yep. You know, just instantly. Have you tried it? Yep. These are all deception indicators. So, understanding the deception indicators gives you a leg up. It's something as simple as ordering food at a restaurant. Some lie statistics. Who lies? Who lies? Everybody lies. One of my favorite lies is, oh, I don't lie. I don't lie because then you got to remember them. And you know that the person is lying. Some real quick lies, statistics. The average person, 60% of all people, lie 2.92 times per 10 minutes of conversation. 60% of all people lie 2.9 times per 10 minutes of conversation. 90% of all business transactions involve deception. 75% of all people lie to their friends regularly. 69% of all people regularly lie to their spouse. The number one lie told, I'm fine. The average person is lied 8 to 20 times. Is lied to 8 to 20 times per day. Unless, of course, you're in sales or HR. If you're in sales, that number, if you're doing a lot of cold calling, could raise as high as 20 to 200 times per day. And that wasn't a deception indicator. I know you're so
That's all I'm thinking about when I'm talking. I'll be talking to James. I'll be like, oh gosh, that's what she is about.
And any deception indicator, you baseline a person as much as possible. So if the person's got allergies and they're constantly doing this, you can't really count that as a deception indicator. I'm going to go a little over if that's fine. If that's okay, you can cut me off whenever you want.
Good, because I've got questions.
We can do some questions too if Lori allows me time. Why do we lie? Why would a person lie? Number one is to make someone else look better. We lie to make others look better. Number two, we lie to make ourselves look better. Number three, we lie to protect others. And number four, we lie to protect ourselves. Now, there may be some other reasons why people lie, but those are the 4 primary reasons. And if you think about ways that people have lied to you, or ways that you've lied to others, that they pretty much fall into those 4 categories. What kind of lies do we tell? We tell white lies. Does this dress make me look fat? No, the dress does not make me look fat. the way that I answered it is a deception indicator. When you reply to a question with the question only as a statement, that's a deception indicator. Then there are lies of omission. Left work, went to the gas station, filled up my tank, came home. Left out the fact that I bought $50 worth of scratchers while I was at the gas station. Okay. Lie of omission. Then there's the half truth, or what I call the lie sandwich. You see politicians do this a lot. Two truths wrapped around a lie. So I left work, went shot pool with the guys for a couple hours, and then went home. Okay. When in fact left work, went home, or went to my girlfriend's house for a couple of hours, and then came home. So it's a lie sandwich. Then there's the bald-faced lie, the lies of malice. Did you take the money? Who, me? No, I did not take the money. Okay? Use emphatic language in that one, which is a deception indicator, same as Bill Clinton's. No, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky. Okay, so the bald-faced lie is the ones that are most high value. They have the lie of malice. So there's one method of detecting lies that is the most accurate. It's also easy to do. If you don't have time to read the book before you need to catch a liar, if you're in a human resources situation where you have the opportunity to interrogate or interview someone, this works like a charm. It's called the comparison method. The comparison method is where you baseline a person's honest behavior, but you also baseline their deceptive behavior. So what you do is you have three types of questions that you ask the interviewee. You have irrelevant, non-threatening questions. Questions that the person has no anxiety with and has no reason to lie to. How was traffic on the way in? What did you have for breakfast? That kind of question. Then you have non-threatening, relevant questions. Have you ever been tempted to steal anything at work? Did you ever always give 100% at your last job? Okay, these are things that we know they're going to lie to because everyone has been tempted to steal something at work at some point in their life, and nobody gives 100% at their job. But in an interview situation, that person's always going to say, yeah, I gave 100%. Okay, so what happens is we know they're going to lie, so then you watch and listen to everything they do while they lie. So now we've benchmarked their lying behavior. So then you go back to non-threatening, irrelevant, and get them back at ease, and then you hit them with the threatening, irrelevant question. Because this really doesn't make any difference whether they say what they lie about on this. It's not going to affect their job. But we want to see the person lie. So then we get them back at ease. And you do this 2 or 3 or 4 times so that you can benchmark their lying behavior. Then you hit them with a threatening, relevant question. In your past jobs, have you ever had problems have you ever had problems with punctuality? This is something that we need to know for their job. Now we watch their behavior. If they show the same behavior that they did when they're lying, there's no doubt. They're lying. It's 100% accurate. So that's the way you use the comparison method. And hopefully you all get a lot more than this out of the book, other than the little taste that I've given you today. If there's any questions, the floor says we've got time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if it's up to the board.
Sure, go ahead.
I've got a question. So you were talking about the waiter who gives a fast response to you. But if they are speaking the truth, should that not be a quick response as well?
It depends on the response. If it appears to be rehearsed, or if they can't wait to get the response out, usually a response would come back within a second.
Okay.
But it's like if you ask me the question.
Have you tried the vegetable soup?
Yes.
Okay. Did you like the vegetable soup?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then especially if I say absolutely and shake my head no while I'm saying it.
Okay.
So I could have the response time right, but shake my head slightly no, and then you know that I'm lying.
Right.
And each different deception indicator, a lot of the different deception indicators have different value. I don't go into the values in the book, but like a head shake is an emblematic gesture. It's over 90% accurate on its own, but that's why you need more than one. You know, you need, like I did with the handshake, you need 2 or 3 indicators in succession, you know, to know that a person's lying.
Well, back to the waiter and the quick lie response. You make it sound like they're spending more time in their mind preparing to tell a lie than they ever prepare to tell the truth.
Absolutely.
Is that the case? Well, you just said absolutely, so hold on. Really? So you think that's
They've most likely been asked that question before.
Okay.
During the day, so it's not really they have prepared the answer in advance.
Okay.
So yes, they did use more mental processing to prep the answer, but just not at the time it's being asked.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They've pre-prepared the answer. So when you ask, do you like it, or you know, have you tried it? They're already prepared. They've already prepared the answer.
Okay. See, this is all new to me because I never lie.
That was me ringing. Thought my phone was on
It's a good
silent.
one. That was a good question because that was the first thing that came up when you were talking about it.
And by itself, it wouldn't really be a high-level indicator because the person may just be in a hurry.
Okay.
But since they nodded their head no on the first round, then it's got to be, you got to be watching for other indicators at that point.
Okay.
Especially since the head nod's about 99% indicative of a lie already. Then now you're looking for other hotspots to justify and to verify that it's a lie. And since the person gave you 3, even if you took the fast response out, you've still got 2, which is going to push them over.
Okay.
And there's tons of those in the book. And it's just like, it's like looking you in the eye. You know, if I asked you, does a liar look you in the eye? Do liars look you in the eye? So if you ask a person a question and they look away when they answer, is that a lie?
I mean, I would think no, that they don't look you in the eye when they're lying to you, but I have had somebody look me straight in the eye.
A
when
liar
they lie
will
to
look you dead in the eye.
Okay.
Wow.
An honest person will break eye contact.
Okay.
Because the liar wants to know if you're buying the lie. So they'll watch your eyes to see if you're buying their lie.
Gotcha.
Okay. Makes sense.
Especially if it's something that would cause a person to normally recall something. Like if I say, what was the car next to the car beside you? And they say it's a Chevy Malibu. And they're looking you dead in the eye, then they're lying because, you know, you need to retrieve that information.
Right.
But
That's a good point.
A person who's being honest would, you know, they would look up to the right or up to the left. They'd look away to try to recall from memory what the car next to them was.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay.
So there's 80 plus in the book of those. So this is not a book you want to give away if you're interested in the information because you're going to study that and you're going to want to go back through it. I didn't learn this stuff in a day, and I still go back to some of it. There's 101 in the system that I drew those from, and that's about roughly a third of what I use in deception analysis. So.
I'll be using this, you know, I'll be like, do you really like that gift that you just opened?
Absolutely. Absolutely I did.
Good job. Good stuff.
All right.